Hey everybody, it's Andy's Free Guitar Chart Videos here. Welcome YouTube subscribers and Facebook groups, friends, and anyone else who's found this video. Like and subscribe the button if you like the video, and follow the instructions to get to this Facebook group page and be able to view the video in its entirety and also view the charts on separate posts. And apply for membership if you have an established Facebook account. So, been working a lot on guitar in the last year, perhaps, on the charts, maybe year and a half on the charts. 274. Guitar and piano line through notes, upper and lower staffs. 7th chords plus middle C. Online notes, 7th chords also. Okay, so what are we talking about and why are we doing this? We might want to go backwards in the charts for a minute and we'll see. Okay, been working on the same thing, so we're pretty much hot on to the topic of the fretboard, of the staff, the music staff here. Okay, let's look at the lowest of the low here. This is way low C here and way low G. Here's C, then C, D, E, F, G. Now we're on the lower staff. Okay, now do I have that note on the guitar? That's the question. First, we're just looking at the staff here to learn about the staff, then we're going to apply it to guitar. And as the lessons progressed from last week, we're applying it to the guitar more and more. But first I had to do an update of all my information and understanding of the staff and the piano, which I did. It has to do with line through notes. That's notes like middle C that has a line through it, and middle C is in between the staffs. It's the one note in between the staffs. Middle C line through note between clefs. And then we have B, C, D. Okay, so that's here. B, C, D. It's right here. B, C, D right here. Okay, so that's 7 root 2. All right, that's an E string shape right there. That's your E string shape. Now if I just play like as I usually do in a lesson, here's an E string shape. The question is that middle C? Likely it is. Okay, but it may not be. Let's not rely on the ear, because I was wrong an octave off and I couldn't really tell. It's just pleasant to the ears to hear something an octave off if it's not way high or something, or way low. So let's look at where middle C really is. So here's the guitar fretboard. Here's your fret nut. I have a guitar that's tuned down 2 whole steps. So your lowest note is E, and in the key is C, that's 3. So E is the 3rd of C. I'm here at C, and you're here at E. So middle C would be that root C that's up there when you do your regular C chord. Just a C-shaped C, open. Okay, so right there is middle C. And guess what? We flew right over it. We flew right over it. That was lower C. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about, knowing where middle C is. Because the difference between middle C and lower C And we can do it by looking at the G box. So our G box is right here. Okay, the G box and the E box. I don't mean to put so many lines on it because I've already scoped out some regions here, but in this particular chart, these labels aren't they're not encompassing labels. They're not banners that actually, for instance, this G banner right here, it actually covers the G C D box. Okay, the G145 cage, and then the E cage is here. And I'm just saying, and I said from previous lessons, that this is a good place to start reading music, because you have a middle C in the middle of the G box. Remember the I'd call it like a hyper fret now, because we're not going to call it the fret nut anymore, because unless it is the fret nut, and that would be over to the left off the screen there. See, now we're not going to go, oh, fret nut / capo, because the polarity of the notes change between line through and note in between lines. Okay, so middle C has a line through it. So let's look at that. So as you know, here's your C. By the way, my fingers are doing a little better now. They're still weak, but they're not open cuts. They're closed up, but they're still sensitive. But that's the open C. So we go C box to A box to G box here. There's our 7 in a G-shaped C. Okay, so we call it the G box, but it's really still a C, because the real deal G box, key of G/D, and we're going to talk about that in today's lesson, is down here in the open string zone, where your fret nuts there. So we're not going to talk about the G box having a capo, because we want the exact note here. We're not going to pretend like this is the fret nut anymore, or this thing's going to look like a snub nose guitar. That's good coffee. So the G and the E shaped cages with the C box. So just remember, with the with the C, C would be the G box. When you do a G here, you're really just taking this big G, right? So in essence, like on the piano, you'd be going something like. Okay, didn't mean to bang like that. So that's a good place to start, middle C there. Not only that, in that G box right here, we have middle C, and we have lower C and upper C, and it's also shared by the E shape C box. This is key of C. Okay, now what would happen if you went down here and just looked at the key of E? Okay, voila, welcome to chart 275. Oh, we don't have the title there. It's keys of cage and the staff. So here's our key of E. Now this is the fret nut, and here we have our E-shaped E, because it's the key of E. Has all these sharps, 4 sharps.